In 1972, the federal government passed the Clean Waters Act. The law was simple. Stop treating America's waterways like a toxic dumping ground. Over the years, the EPA added addendums. In 1977, they targeted toxic pollutants. In 1987, they made it flat out illegal to let toxic stormwater run off city streets and dump directly into our rivers. But as a civil engineer, I'm here to tell you a massive industry secret. Local governments and developers have found completely legal loopholes to bypass both of these laws. Let's engineer something. First, let's look at the streets. The EPA's federal stormwater rule says you only legally have to provide stormwater management if your site is over 1 acre. That is over 43,000 square feet. Developers know this. They will pave a 40,000 square foot lot right next to a pristine waterway, covered in toxic asphalt, and the federal government just looks the other way. Down here in Florida, I am working on a major roadway expansion right next to a massive municipal drainage canal. The architect tried to tell me the drainage was already handled, but I know how this industry works. So I went to the site, pulled out my, full disclosure, it was actually a charcuterie knife. Listen, in this industry, you never know when a cheese plate and a crisp Sauvignon Blanc might break out. A girl has to be ready, but more importantly, I had to be ready for what was under this grate. I opened the heavy iron grate of the trench drain myself and looked inside. Do you know what I found? Absolutely nothing. No pre-treatment, no baffle box, no filter, just an empty concrete trench and a straight pipe designed to dump all of that hot, toxic asphalt soup directly into the canal. How is this legal? Because of a bureaucratic game of hot potato. Honestly, the local government handles infrastructure exactly like a man handles commitment. They take forever to propose a solution, maybe eventually do it, and then make you feel crazy about it. They don't really want to take responsibility, so they never tell their parents, the state, or the water management district about you. They just explicitly state in their local manuals that their canals are primarily for effective flood control. Boom, passing the buck right to the states. Now, the state manual actually lists the correct engineering solutions: underground baffle boxes. But right underneath that, they passed a massive warning label admitting these devices have high maintenance requirements. Because of that one warning, cities refuse to enforce them. Why? Because the public works crew doesn't want to pay to vacuum them out. Instead, the state relies on 57,000 acres of giant constructed swamps to filter agricultural phosphorus. But guess what a swamp cannot digest? 450-degree synthetic engine oils and heavy urban street metals. The toxic soup slips right past the cattails and directly into the ocean. But the failure isn't just on the streets. It's right in your own backyards. Over 60 million Americans flush their toilets into a backyard septic tank. And if you think this is just an old rural problem, the EPA reports that up to 33% of all new home construction still relies on septic systems. Why? Because if the public sewer line is too far down the road, it costs developers too much money to connect. So they just drop a tank in the ground and move on. Our septic infrastructure is based on 1950s mentality. Back then, a family used mild soaps and a natural bacteria in the tank ate the waste. But today, we have massive McMansions pumping out 10 times the volume of wastewater. And what is in the water? Harsh synthetic face washes, pharmaceuticals, microplastics, and whatever toxin is convincing you that outfit isn't tea. Girl, shake that ass and clock it. We are literally nuking the biology of our own septic tanks, turning them into concentrated toxic sludge. Because our ocean baseline is rising, the water table is sitting incredibly high. When you flush, the toxic sludge has nowhere to drain. It leaches directly into our drinking aquifer. This is exactly why your local water treatment plants have to work so hard and why your tap water smells like sulfur.
Kirby, stop drinking that dang creamy water.
And for those who think the aquifer acts as a natural filter, listen to this. In 2013, the Washington, D.C. Department of Energy completely flipped the script. To save the Chesapeake Bay, engineers tried to cheat the system by building massive underground sand filters to trap the runoff. They quickly realized that synthetic oils and chemicals completely clog the sand, turning them into toxic, unmaintained underground litter boxes. DC literally banned them. But isn't this wild? DC banned sand filters because they fail, but down here in Florida, we are low-key just using our entire sandy peninsula as one giant unmaintained sand filter. Those cute retention ponds in your subdivision that you are paying thousands of dollars a year in HOA maintenance, the ones nobody actually maintains, yeah, it's a scam. There is a better way, but Florida just hasn't discovered the Sera standard yet. The standard of care right now is an ethical failure. But if you want to see what the Sera standard looks like in real life, look at the two locations that are actually setting the bar. Number one, Prince George's County, Maryland. Right next to DC, even though they are honestly very slow of progress right now, we have to give them their flowers. They literally invented low impact development, LIDs, in the 90s. Instead of pipes and failing sand filters, they managed biological treatment at the source using rain gardens and bioswales. Number two, Seattle, Washington. To save their dying salmon run, Seattle pioneered the SEA Streets project and Dane. Seattle was willing to tear up and redo their existing infrastructure. How revolutionary. They ripped the traditional concrete curves, narrowed their asphalt, and replaced the edges with continuous, heavily planted bioswales. Those plants naturally absorb and filter the heavy metals before even reaching the pungent sound. They prove that true engineering respects the chemistry of the earth. We need to stop treating the ocean and our aquifers like a trash can. Let's engineer a better foundation, because you can't save the world if you're busted. Like, comment, subscribe, abonnez avec moi, and get excited. See you next time. Bye.